Bada boo bop 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 bang to the fruity, oh Rudy, 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 to the fruity, oh Rudy. Wop bada boo bop bop bang. I got a girl named Sue. Yeah, she knows just what to do. Oh, I got a girl named Sue. Yeah, she knows just what to do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She rock to the east, rock to the west. She's the girl that I love best. To the fruity, oh Rudy, 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 to the fruity, oh Rudy. Wop bada boo bop wop bop bang. Woo! I'm telling you, I can just imagine my parents like going down the hall thinking, Lord have mercy, somebody call the doctor. We got a weird kid just jamming out to this stuff. I loved it. And then I would flip it over to side B, and this guy changed my world forever, y'all. They still call this guy the king of rock and roll, and he is. There was never and there will never be another guy like Elvis Presley. Just the God's honest truth. And I grew up to be such a fan, got all his albums. It was the first album I ever bought was an Elvis record. But on this cassette, there was two songs, Hound Dog, and then a song that was like well, it's one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready. Now go, get going, don't you? Step on my blue suede shoes. Well, you can do anything, stand over my blue suede shoes. Well, you can knock me down, step on my face, slander my name all over the place. Do anything that you want to do, but I want to stay up on your shoes, and don't you? Step on my blue suede shoes. Well, you can do anything. Over my blue suede shoes. You can do anything to stay over my blue suede shoes. All right. Thank you very much. Man, love that guy. And that's really, that cassette, to me, that's like my first early memories of music and loving it and wanting to learn more and figure out, how many other artists were there out there and learn their songs. And it was just a progression that kept going, and I remember on even into to middle school, like I was still figuring out new artists and new music. And my 6th and 7th grade year, we got to ride the bus to school, and I learned a lot on there. But my 8th grade year, they fooled around and changed the district, so they wouldn't let us ride the bus from my neighborhood to school anymore, but we could ride carpool. I remember one day specifically, we'll never forget it. This lady named Janetta Smith was driving us to school. And she was not listening to Elvis Presley. She was not listening to country music. She was listening to 104.7 Foxy Radio. And I had never heard any music like this in my life, y'all, I'm telling you. But I was mesmerized. I was loving what I was hearing. And this one song in particular just caught my eye. I had to know what it was. So this was before iPhones or before Shazam, so I pulled out a pen and paper and started writing down the lyrics word for word so I could get back home after class, get online, go on LimeWire or something like that, and figure out what the song was. So it turned out to be this guy right here. Hey girl, how you doing? My name is Charlie, last name Wilson. I was wondering if I could take you out, show you a good time, invite you to my house. Here is my number, girl, you can call me. And don't forget it, babe, the name is Charlie, Charlie, yeah. Oh man, it's still not funny, it's losing it. Lord have mercy. When I tell you to this day, what is it, February, it's leap year day, wow. February 29th, 2024, that I am the world's biggest Charlie Wilson fan to this day. I'm telling you, I am the world's biggest Charlie Wilson fan. I have all his albums, I've got all his records. Me and him have we've become friends over the years. As wild as that sounds, little Scotty from North Carolina and Charlie Wilson were boys. But I don't really read books. I don't know why, I just never did. I wanted to sing and not read. But man, when his autobiography came out a few years back, I remember I was at the beach in Carolina. I drove like an hour and a half to the nearest Barnes & Noble, got his autobiography, drove back to the beach, read that thing in like a day. Like I love this dude. One thing I learned in that book that I didn't know, but it's like, well, Charlie Wilson was the lead singer of one of my favorite bands that I didn't know was one of my favorite bands, but I knew some of their music and I was like, what? He was a singer in the Gap Band? You were the girl that changed my world. You were the girl for me. You lit the fuse, I stand accused. You were the first for me, but you turned me on. You dropped a bomb on me, baby. You dropped a bomb on me, but you turned me on. You dropped a bomb on me, baby. You dropped a bomb on me. Oh, I know you didn't think you were hearing the Gap Band when you came out here tonight, did you? What the?
How you doing? It's your Uncle Charlie, last name Wilson. You know I love you, nephew. How about you leave the funk and R&B to me? And why don't you get back to singing country music for these fine folks out here? Have a great show.
That's my guy. That's Uncle Charlie. Oh man, proud to be his nephew. Oh. I will say one thing you learn in that autobiography too is the Gap Band, they were called the Funk Cowboys. So what Uncle Charlie just told me to do was to leave the funk and R&B to him. So I'm gonna leave the funk and R&B to Charlie. And we're gonna get back to the scheduled program. Y'all came to a country music concert, didn't you, huh? All right. Country was always the core. I was learning all sorts of different music growing up, but country was always the core of what was played in my house. I remember in high school, though, specifically, is when I kind of really dug into it. And I was in Spanish class with my buddy Kyle Wiggins. I'm not gonna tell you too many Kyle Wiggins stories because I don't know about them statute of limitations back home, but we had a good time, me and him, and probably too good of a time because we did not do well in Spanish class, y'all. And it ain't because I don't know a little Espanol. I'm a quarter Puerto Rican up here, for those of you who don't know. I got a little quarter Porter, so I know some Espanol. But we just were not paying attention because all we would do in class is talk about my favorite country artist, his favorite country artist, my favorite songs, his favorite songs, and we would put these lists together, these long lists, and we'd go home and burn these CDs of just our favorite songs, and we'd listen to them over and over. And there was one legendary blue CD I still have back home in the truck. I'll never get rid of it. So many great songs from guys like Keith Whitley and John Anderson. I mean, just the list goes on and on. And the song that led it all off, that CD, was this one right here. It goes something like this. Yep. I start walking your way, and you start walking mine. We meet in the middle, eat that old Georgia pine. We gain a lot of ground, but we both give a little. There ain't no road too long, but we can meet in the middle. One of the more underrated bands out there. They got so many songs, but it was about that time, like I said, that I started digging in and I wanted to learn these songs on guitar and start singing them myself. And I started getting that reputation around my hometown, Garner, North Carolina, and my friends would call me up, hey. They would call me up though to like, hey Scotty, can you come play my pool party? Or Scotty, can you come play my graduation party? And I would do it. My fee was a little different back then. I'd play it for $5 and free pizza, man, all night long, whatever you wanted to hear, right? But it was strictly friends, strictly family. I was too nervous to do anything else, but I remember it was 2009. There was a competition in the town next door in Clayton called Clayton Idol. And I was too nervous to sign up. I definitely wasn't gonna do it, but my folks were the type, they didn't give a rip, you know, that they forged my name on the sign-up sheet and kicked me out the door and said, you're gonna do this. So I went out there for the first time, sang in front of strangers, and sang this song right here for my first ever competition. I said, Grandpa, what's this picture here? It's all black and white. It ain't real clear, is that you there? He said, yeah, I was 11. Times were tough back in 35. That's me and Uncle Joe trying to survive a cotton farm. Great Depression. If it looks like we were scared to death, like a couple of kids just trying to save each other, you should have seen it in color. Yeah, pictures are worth 1,000 words, but you can't see what them shades of gray keep covered. You should have seen it in color. Man, I was so nervous that night, but I finished that song, and 25 people went wild in the crowd, and I was so excited. I didn't know what to think, but the judges came on after the show, and lo and behold, my first ever competition I entered, I won the whole thing, Clayton Idol. It was a crazy night. And it really, you know, it ain't a huge deal. I think I got like a $10 gift card to McDonald's and got to be the grand marshal at the Christmas parade that year, something like that. But now in 2024, I look back on it and I think about it like, man, that night for me was everything. You know, as far as getting my confidence to go out there and pick a guitar and sing in front of strangers and gain that confidence to do that, it changed my world. And little by little, I would start doing, you know, country music showcases at local colleges, and I would start taking gigs at coffee shops and wherever they take me, I was playing.